Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, grasshoppers. Having a unique system situation where it is blasting in my ear, but the volume control does not seem to be working, so I'm wondering how loud it is for you. How loud can it be for you? Tricky. All right. Let's get going. I'll worry about it later. Trying to find the sound settings, volume mixer, system sounds, yada yada, 42, output device. Now we've got it. We're still playing C3, I believe. We are still playing C3. Good morning, everyone. Let's see what he's got that's new. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? I am curious. Let's see what damage can be done here. Yes, we are going to get in there. And for the moment of truth, let's see what he gets in. I see something really incredible here. Let's go for it. Let us go for it. Let's try to overwork just a wee bit the situation. Can I do it this way? No, huh? C'est la vie. We're going to keep working on it. He's capturing there. We're capturing here. Let's see what happens. And what kind of a gambit is this? Looks like it's a good gambit. Let's make a full gambit out of it. Yeah, we're going to have to park ourselves over here just in case there's actual danger. Just in case there's actual danger. So is he threatening queen to b7? I don't know. But we'll find out. Once now for something completely different. Here, there. We have to get something back at some time anyway. Let's go for it. I just want to bother him. A little bit the old-fashioned way. Uh-oh. And now for something completely indifferent. Can I go this way? We're hanging on by the hair of our chinny chin chin. Oh no! He got me. I forgot that rook c8 wasn't threatening. I had queen f1, and I could have survived, perhaps. Aye. Queen f1 would have been good. Bishop g5 might have been awkward. Oh, well. So, is the volume lower? So the NVIDIA broadcast setting. What about this one? That one seems to do nothing. This one, on the other hand, seems to be great. Set at a permanent 42. The answer to everything. Output device, input device. Checking. All right, we seem to be okay. Moment of truth, everybody. Am I going to get another game or two? I don't know. We have Ron Hay, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome and hail the presence of Ron Pegasus Way Hay. Don't know if it was planned, but it certainly works. All right, so we have the broadcast of NVIDIA set. Let's just check out the microphone setting to make sure it's always set to NVIDIA broadcast. That would be great if it is. Then yes, microphone, NVIDIA broadcast, got it. And the audio settings are set to NVIDIA broadcast. Perfect. GM Raleigh Reza. All right, one of those two. We should get one of those two. We're back. Just have to wait our turn, sir. Wait our turn. Like Ben Stiller in the airport at the end of Meeting the Parents. Wait your turn, sir. Wait your turn. $19.75, my God. Well, the good news is we do not have a lesson immediately after the stream. What are we playing against Ron? We're going to play it this way. We're going to go with an old Indian setup. You're very kind, Ron. You are very kind. We gave him a maximum amount of leeway here. Yes, I am helping him out. I am helping him out. I am helping him out. He's attacking my rook. So can we get him here? So let's see. Have we managed to do it? Really? Okay. What? I didn't think you could do that. I could be wrong, though. I am very wrong. I am very wrong. God, I thought I was that close to trapping his queen, but I didn't realize that I had to play rook f7 first. I couldn't do it. Rook takes, rook h6, maybe rook h6. Oh, that was horrible. Let's give that game a nudge, shall we? This one especially. Oh, already requested. I won my billiards match last night, dominatingly, almost 7-1. That's all that counts to make my day here. Well, this was Ron. He should have won it anyway. That's all there was to it. We need to look no further. My Botez Gambit was declined. Ron is a very nice customer on the Botez Gambit declines. I make a lot of Botez Gambit attempts. This was just one of them. Botez Gambit declined. Ron is taking a break? Uh-oh. All right. Let's do it. Mikhail. All right. We're going to go for his throat. Look at this move. Super aggressive. All the time. Ready to rock. Let's see what we get out of this deal. He has no idea what will hit him. It's still there. Fell into the trap. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't. I need to get 2 games in before he gets 1. How is this going to work? Yes, we have him right where we want him, don't we? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe, just maybe. All part of the plan, folks. All part of the plan.
Time to update Windows 11.
No way. Updating Windows 11. Let's go nuts. Something must fall. You can't guard everything.
Pegasus SWE. Set. Big update, long time 35 minutes.
So easily. Shouldn't pre-move that. Woof. Did not get it, but I wasn't going to catch Ron. Hey, guy was in beast mode. Who beat Ron? Nobody beat Ron. Nicely done, Ron. Very impressive all around, everyone. Let's check the news. This is a stream sponsored by Chess Informant. Chess Informant News Daily. And what happened yesterday in the Esports World Cup That is what I want to know. The Esports World Cup. In the initial matches, Avronian beat Artemiev, yes, in the first round. I think that Aronian then tied and won the Armageddon by drawing with the black pieces. This was really relatively slow chess, by the way. Relatively slow chess. Let's check out the... unless this wasn't the Armageddon match yet. Oh, the clocks have been adjusted, right? After the first move, black got 7 minutes. White got 10 minutes. But black gets draw odds. And white made the game more complicated for himself than he needed to. He plays just like me. How bad is it? Wow. Artemiev just barely hanging on. And then forcing the draw for the win. Nicely done. Esipenko, by the way, Esipenko, the story of the day for Esipenko, he was eliminated in the qualifying stages by Aronian. Ironically, Aronian moved on, Esipenko qualified, and then I'm trying to remember who it was that dropped out. Does anybody know who it was that dropped out? Someone like our Esipenko could have easily had his bags packed. He was all ready to go, and then he gets the call that. I'm trying to remember who it was that dropped out now, unfortunately, and because he dropped, and because another player dropped out, he actually got to come back in. So as a result, he gets to eliminate Jan Nepomniachtchi. Now, of course, the first game was a nice solid draw in the Berlin. He tries f5 as black to liven things up. How clever is that? Everything works out well. So he manages to achieve absolute equality with the black pieces in the first round. Well, I wouldn't say absolute. He's still a little bit under pressure here with lack of space. And then he moves on to the next game against Jan Nepomniachtchi. And he chooses the Jobava London. I'm sure this irks Nepo to no extent. Turns out to be a very aggressive system, as Jan does not reply with c5, unlike move number 2. c6 is rather tame, if you ask me. You're going to have to play c5 sooner or later. You might as well do it right away. Very risky. And the double bishop and rook endgame. Esipenko, with only 2 minutes and 2+ minutes on his clock, manages to achieve quite the decisive advantage here in the rook and pawn endgame. Ooh, ouch, ouch. Was it really that bad? And the pawns just walk in by themselves, practically. He should have probably played rook to f6 just to drive the rook out for a moment. Right? Gain some time. What would be the point of rook to f6? Check it out. Rook to f6. Then rook to c6. Very good. Now if the king tries to return, we get to play rook to c4 check, king moves, and then we support our pawns, and we start the process all over again by getting a rook behind a passed pawn, or by walking them in, depending on what white chooses. Got it.
TKBTS have joined.
TKBTS. We're just going over yesterday's news in the Esports World Cup. How are you doing, buddy? I am FIDE Trainer for those viewers that aren't familiar with me. National Master John MacArthur. I used to play chess better when I had ambition. When I had ambition, I was actually quite good. Unfortunately, now I'm old, settled, calm. You know, life goes on.
Arsenal fan Richie
said 3 quite well.
Whoops. Aft. This is also Arsenal fan Richie. This stream is sponsored by Chess Informant if you'd like to check them out. I also have received some help from Chessable, but I gave them a few years of sponsorship, but I haven't asked for anything in the last couple since the merger with chess.com. Wow. And the pawns walk themselves in. What a brilliant display of technique. And now we have to win this endgame of queen versus rook. Note the technique. This is the formation that you need to be able to force either the king and rook apart. For example, rook to d8, queen to g5 check, rook to d7, there's something similar going on here. On rook to d7, there's something very similar. I'm trying to remember the technique. I used to teach this. This is a standard part of lessons, actually, until the computers took over. Bishop and knight mates, absolutely essential for students. Absolutely essential. Not because you're going to get a bishop and knight mate, but because the students need to know how those pieces control the squares around the king at a regular basis. They really learn the knight controlling the opposite colored squares and complementing the bishop and the knight.
Said, I had bishop and knight made in 4 NCL.
That's what I like to hear. I've also had a bishop and knight mate. Probably one of the worst experiences of my life. So let's see. Is there a way that I can force this win of this rook? Let's just solve our problem here the easy way. It's queen a5 check, king c1, queen g5 check. And he can't block with the rook because we take advantage of the pin. All right, so that sounds good. Queen to g5 check should work as well. That was my first inclination. And then queen a5 check, reversing it. This was my thought. Now, where does the king go? The king can't go to c2 because of queen a4 check. Or queen f5 check. Same idea. It's so funny that it gives over here. So if king d4, then queen to a4 check. What? It chooses queen to d2 check on king to d4? I would choose this move, picking off the rook. Isn't that a crazy tactic? So in this particular instance, you have both choices, but I'm choosing this one. The computer wants to choose that one. And it only gives one line. So if king to c4, queen a4. If king to d4, queen a4. If king to d3, queen b5. And if king b2, queen b5. So there we go. We've got our answer here. In this position, once you separate the king and the rook, you're able to pick him off with a series of checks. The first one is obvious. There are no other squares, so he has to keep his king close. And now we deliver this check, and now it's Zugzwang. Now we go through a little bit of a process to be able to push him back. First with this check. It says queen e4 is the right move. I'm fairly certain that it is. Because we want to get him broken down from a third rank, right? And if rook d3, queen c4, and here we go. The Zugzwang has continued again. And there's a simple process here, by the way. If you try anything funny, I'm trying to remember what the funniest thing is. You play this check, and when the king moves back, you grab more space. And if he tries this terrible move, you have this simple elementary fork in two, which is key. So the king has to move over, this king moves closer, and then we start this process all over again. We cannot move to b2 because of king to d2. So king to this square, king to d2, rook to c4, queen to b6 check. And once again, now this is called the third rank defense, 3 ranks away from the side. And it's a very tricky thing. If he moves his rook, then he's immediately broken, because then we can actually push the king back. It may not look like it, but we can push the king back thanks to this tactic of taking advantage of the pin. So if he lets his own third rank defense get broken, we get to bother him. And if he moves forward, guess what? We're just going to tighten the notch. And after rook to b3, we can once again do that same Zugzwang position that we were talking about before. Once again, we can't move the rook hardly anywhere. It will get picked off by checks, no matter where it is over here. Uh-oh. It's getting quite uncomfortable. It says here that he has to move his rook to h3 for the best defense, but I'm going to go with this one. And basically, it's all over but the shouting. We'll return to this one with more queen versus rook. By the way, you will not find any queen versus rook instruction in the jettisonable book that is known as the Dvoretsky Endgame Manual. He completely left it out. If you want to learn how to do queen versus rook, you have to go to Paul Kara's. This is atrocious technique, but it is working. Wow. Oh no! This move just wins the rook. Everyone knows this tactic by now, right? This is not the way to do it. I mean, obviously we're winning, but still, this is the simple tactic that everyone needs to know. I'm going to make an endgame for this in my chessable book. That's all there is to it. Needless to say, oh my God, he just walked himself into the corner like that. And now it's Zugzwang. Now the rook gets picked off by a series of checks. And this is the final position that everyone should know. At this moment, the king and the rook are separated, and it's only a matter of time to be able to pick off the rook with check. And he misses it the first. Oh, this is the right check, because you want to play queen to. There's no defense. You're either checkmated or queen to e1. He made this extremely long because he didn't know what he was doing. And I'm sure, oh, he has his own process, eh? And that's the end of it. All right, everyone. That was quite crazy. Absolutely crazy. Needless to say, I believe that the Esports World Cup is continuing. And I was basically watching it because Nemo is commentating along with the amazing Chess Bras. Who else was there? I'm trying to remember. Christian Cirilla, the amazing Christian Cirilla. And another, I'm trying to recall who it is. We're going to raid Chess 24 primarily because our friend and commentator, let's see if we can raid Chess 24 for this coverage. Maybe. Thank you all for being here. I need to get the grandson to school. And namaste. Cheers and ciao. Please enjoy the coverage. We'll be back.